Today we're gonna practice TIG welding, aluminum and mild steel. We got the PrimeWeld TIG 225, compatible to do AC and DC. We haven't been using it as much as I wanted to and showcasing it on the channel, but we will get into that. We're gonna be welding again some aluminum. I have 2 sets of rods, mild steel, and primarily this is my crappy weld I did probably 6 months ago when I was trying to practice, but we're gonna probably do another weld, and we want to jump into AC and trying to just figure out AC so that way we can do better projects in the future for the channel, for the car. We are currently using just the household electricity here, so what, 110. It does have an adapter. That's the beauty of this machine. You can run it on household power. We do have an argon tank. This is 100% argon, and I think this is 125 CFM or whatever bottle or tank. And yeah, we're gonna try to measure out the diameters of this. We're gonna pick a good welding current for it. We're gonna pick a good pre-flow, post-flow. And let's practice some DC first, and then we'll go on AC. And I know this machine is very, very complicated when you first look at it, a lot of knobs, but I'll probably be making videos on how to use this efficiently and how to kind of clear out the mess here and just focus on what you really need to operate this efficiently. We got 2 welding helmets. This is the Deco one I first picked up. Pretty good helmet, affordable, and a subscriber sent out this Miller welding helmet for me, so I'm putting it to use, my friend. I know I haven't been putting in as much work at welding as I wanted to because of work schedule, but I'm gonna start doing this, and I want to take this further, so thank God I have some time to do it. Let's go. I'm gonna start this machine up. It's very loud, that's why I tried to go over all the talking right now, and then I'll just be overlaying the videos after that. As you guys can see, the first thing you notice chopping these things off is all the cleanup here. There's a ton of material here that just has to get cleaned before welding. Let me know what's the best way to cut. I know bandsaw is probably the best, or a cold chop saw, I believe, right? Cold blade chop saw. And what tools are the best to clean these off? Pretty solid right there. One thing that I gotta mention to you guys is I'm a noob when it comes to TIG welding and whatnot, so I'm not afraid to show my mistakes and my process that happens when someone is new and trying to learn how to TIG weld, just going based off what they saw on YouTube. You've probably seen or maybe have not seen my other video where I was trying to flux core weld my exhaust. That video was pretty dang terrible, but it's reality if someone's trying to start off. I also welded a do-it-yourself valve puller, right? Yeah, valve puller for spring compressor for your valves in the engine. I welded a piece out, and it came out really bad, but hey, that's how it goes, and I'm hoping to get better. But this is real life perspective. Someone that didn't go to school, someone that really just gets the general idea, and they're using their goddamn hands to try to figure it out. All right, so no hate comments, please. So the first question you may ask yourself is, what amperage am I going to use to weld these pieces together. And I have a digital caliper here, and there is a rough number that is a nice guide for you to figure out the amperage selection. The width of this, yep, it's 0.06. So that's gonna reference to about 60 on the current. So let's go just a little hair more in case we need a little bit more juice, but that should give us a good amount of penetration for this metal. Ideally, you guys want to obviously clean your tungsten, clean your piece, and we'll probably do that with acetone just to kind of follow the book and not get in a bad habit of doing it the other way. But yeah, that's what we're gonna start off with. And once I get all this cleaned up, we're gonna start tacking this up. There you go. Nice clean towel. Dirty, dirty. All right, ground clamp on the table. This piece is gonna be on the metal. We'll align this here and we'll start tacking it up. As far as my helmet, I'm going with shade 9 since we're using not too much amps. And make sure your welding helmet is in weld mode, not grind mode. Also, I have to open my argon tank. We're gonna keep it at around 15 SCFH, just about. I think that's a good rule of thumb. I forgot what cup I'm using. This is a number 7 cup, so I believe you're supposed to double the CF whatever flow based on the cup you're using. Correct me if I'm wrong. Step on the gas pedal and just check how much CFM is flowing through it. Oh, way too much. Right there, there's the ball, 15. Not the best fit up. Not the best fit up at all. But I think it'll do. We'll weld it and see what happens. I may have to tack it a little bit more here. But yeah, I think that's a good amperage range. It's burning through pretty easily. To be honest, I think I'm sitting way too low and it's hard for me to see this puddle. I need to bump on my seat. Alright guys, let's take a look at the process. Can you guys guess which bead is which bead? Look at the side profiles. The one on the right is the first one I have done previously, and you can see the bead profile is pretty high from the pipe, which indicates I was welding way too cold and acquiring metal, but it wasn't really penetrating inside in some areas, as you can see. Pretty nasty welds, but that is something you can expect. Now, these are pretty nasty too. However, they are a little bit flatter, as you can see. Some of them, I think I had the current dialed in for this one, and the heat was much better. I was moving a little faster. I'm able to kind of walk with it, and if it gets too hot, I pull back away, turn it off, restart. I mean, I only weld in small sections at a time because I'm not comfortable moving that tungsten around the whole perimeter and keeping a good angle or contact area here. But I'm just working on that. And even on the inside, as you guys can see, it definitely seems like it welded a little better. It's much smoother. There seems to be penetration through the whole inner pipe. Again, let's compare the first welds here. So I'm pretty happy with it. I did dip the tungsten one time towards the end in the puddle. Not too bad. And overall, this pipe, I think structurally it would work. I wish I timed myself how long this took, but I'm pretty happy with that. And now we got some aluminum pieces that I'd like to TIG up. These are already kind of, for the most part, I can match one of these up, and I just don't want any gaps with aluminum. So I'll find something that matches up pretty good, nice and tight, and we'll go over to AC. So I just did my measurement on this aluminum pipe. It is 0.062. So we're probably going to run around 65 to 66 on the current. Now, sorry for the lighting. We're going to be turning on the AC button. We're still going to keep the current at around 65, 66. There's two things we have to worry about with AC, and that's AC frequency and AC balance that you probably don't see, but these two buttons. And I'm trying to experiment with these. I'm not the greatest. You don't want too low of a AC frequency. It's going to create a larger bead, and it's going to sound a lot slower. And the AC balance is actually the cleaning ability of the AC to DC wave. Again, this is all noob talk right now, but some people are saying anywhere from 60 to 120 on the AC frequency, and AC balance I got 10 to 90%. You kind of want to be maybe in the 40 to 50 range on the balance. And if that's 200, I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of go like this and hope for the best. I'm gonna turn it back on. Post flow, I forgot to tell you guys how many seconds on post or pre-flow. I got probably like 1 second pre and maybe 3-4 seconds post. So I'm gonna turn it back on, and again, we'll clean up these pieces here, match them up, and then I'm gonna hope for the best, guys. I'm not good with AC, and aluminum is much trickier to weld than this. This is much more forgiving and won't blow out on you. This is a whole different ballpark. So I'm gonna put in a new tungsten. And speaking of tungsten, guys, that's probably something I should mention as well. This is the tungsten I'm using, the CK Worldwide laser. This was recommended to me by my welding friend. He said this is good for pretty much AC, DC, and whatnot. So I'm just going with that, and that's all you can do. Gotta get the real gloves out. got a tag. It's blowing through a lot faster. This is China shit. I might have to go down on the current. So I actually backed off on the frequency and the balance, and it's much better. I'm able to tack it up in a few areas much cleaner without it really blowing out. I'm at 60 at the current right now, 60. And I'm kind of curious how this is going to be. I'm going to start where there's really tight gaps and try to dab it a little bit. But I got a feeling on this little piece, there's not much heat dissipation, and this might start blowing out pretty quick. So I'm going to go pretty easy on the throttle and kind of watch the cleaning, the puddle, and then I'll try to dab. We'll see how it goes. Yep, I got a hole in it already. Got a hole in it, man. That was quick. That was really quick. So what's the problem here, man? Too much amps. That's gonna be tricky, man. GoPro, stop recording. I'm dropping it down to 55. We'll see. Nope, it's burning a hole right through it, man. Before it even gets liquid, it's burning through. Wow. I was pretty much taking it easy on it. I'm jumping to 30 on the current. Just blowing holes through it. Even at 30, I'm blowing holes. Ooh, that thing is fire. There's my hole. There's my hole. Not looking good. The tacks worked because I did a lot of heat all at once and I let off and the piece was cooler, but now that I'm introducing all that heat there, it's really overheating. Yeah, right. Worse at this. Look, I had one decent little stack right here. That's it, man. I think this piece is just too hot. That's the problem. This is very thin, too hot, no practice. Alright guys, I'm pretty much done welding. Turned this thing off. The AC is pretty dang bad, as you can see. I got holes everywhere. There was one piece right here that I managed to lay down. And that's just pure luck. I could barely tack these pieces together. I tried to tack another piece here, and I'm trying to mess with the settings on the welder, bringing the AC frequency pretty dang low. It did help at some point with the low frequency, but I mean, it just kept blowing out. I'm guessing cheap metal, thin metal, and I'm definitely probably not introducing the filler fast enough. I think you may have to introduce the filler a lot faster, and there's really not much time before this starts creating a crater in here, is what I'm coming to learn here. And yeah, very difficult, so a lot more research that I need to do. Let me know if the amperage between, you know, sizes of metal differs between AC and DC. Is the same size aluminum and steel going to have the same current, or do we need to adjust it based on aluminum? I mean, again, I didn't do all this research and everything. I'm just really just glad I'm jumping in. I'm getting some hands on here under the hood, and that's the most critical piece. A lot of learning happens under the hood, and this is welding, beginner welding, TIG, mild steel, and aluminum. And clearly, from this little session, we know that I have to do a lot more research and play with aluminum a lot more. Like if I'm going to be doing intercooler piping eventually, trying to adjust stuff and make things work, this is definitely not going to work. So catch you guys on the next video. If you have any tips or if you guys have any tips or tricks, jot them down below, and I look forward to reading them. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.